Hello, good afternoon, and welcome once again to your Wealth Class on Lagos Television. I'm Abayomi Obabolujo. Today, we are going to be taking the time to look at some of those third quarter earnings that have been released to the market so far, but not just that. We want to see how the market so far so good since the release of the results has responded to them. And we are going to be looking at the possibility of how the market would most likely also respond to subsequent results that will be released to the market. When you talk about third quarter reports, as far as I'm concerned, it is about the most important results that you will see in the market. Why did I say so? Why not audited report that often will come with probably bonus or dividend, as the case may be? I'll tell you why. You see, when a quarterly report is released to the market, the lifespan often is about 15 weeks, after which another result for the new quarter is released to the market. But when it gets to the third quarter result, you discover that before the audited report is eventually released to the market, it takes more than 17 weeks. Sometimes it could take as many as, as long as probably 18 weeks. In some cases, it could even be more. We are already in October 2018. Will it be a thing of surprise to you to note that there are organizations that we are yet to see the result as of December of 2017 as we speak? Some of them may be due to regulatory challenges and others. So third quarter report is always very important. So we're going to be looking at what the possibilities are. Meanwhile, on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, so far so good. Today, we have seen the All-Share Index in the green. And as the NSE All-Share Index is up 0.15%, NSE 30, 0.17%, NSE 50, 0.36%, all of them growth. Then NSE SM is flat, NSE Banking is up 0.47%, NSE Corporate Governance is up 0.33%, NSE Industrial is flat, NSE Insurance is up 0.06%, NSE Mainboard up marginal 0.01%, NSE Oil and Gas is flat, NSE Pension up 0.11%, NSE Premium Index up 0.31%. However, NSE Consumer Goods is down 0.24%, NSE Lotus 0.07% decline. Just the two of them of all the indicators. And so far so good today, being the first trading day this week. And you know that after this week, only next week will be the complete full week that we're going to have in the month of October. And then the month is over. So far so good today. We can see Union Diagnostics moving up 7.14%. Union Diagnostic is back at 30 kobo. Zenith is up, so far so good today, 3.49%. Zenith is currently selling at 23 naira 70 kobo. Continental Insurance is up. Diamond Bank, we are yet to see the third quarter report. Zenith, we saw the third quarter report, is very positive. We're still going to be talking about that in a short while from now. Stanbic IBTC is also up 2.22%. And Law Union and Rock, NACO, FBNH, and converting. Others are those equities that are currently looking up on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. On the flip side, Nemeth, Lafarge, WAPCO. Lafarge, WAPCO would definitely be down because the organization actually reported loss in their third quarter reports. But again, if you take time to look at the loss that they declared, I think it was a little bit better than the loss that was declared in the preceding year. So Lafarge WAPCO is currently down. You know, we still have close to 2 hours left for the market for today. So anything is still largely possible. Sovereign Trust is down, Japol is down, ICO is down, Vetiva and NEM Insurance. All those are currently looking down on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, as we speak now, quite a number of companies are approaching the market with one primary market instrument or the other. Why? There would always be need for quoted companies, all right? But how do you pick the best of the best? You see, in this market, if you look at those that had lost money than the others, there were those that approached the market without necessarily knowing what they were doing, particularly when between 2005 2006, Professor Soludo sent those financial institutions to the market to shore up their shareholders fund. Instead of them merging, instead of them relinquishing their licenses, they decided to enter into the market and see what they can do. So they pushed their suffers to the market all over the places, public offering here, public offering there. Of course, there were other industries too that later joined, but many people did not bother to do analysis. They were not connected with the sources of knowledge and information, and so subsequently, because of one strategy or one form of marketing strategy or the other, they invested, and today they are net losers. Those are those that will say, because they have lost money in the market before, they are never going to come near the market anymore. But the truth of the matter is that, well, maybe once in a while, you have been involved in maybe you have been involved in an accident. Will you say because of that, you are not going to travel in a vehicle before anymore? And so because of that, you are going to trek all over from Lagos to Ibadan to Ilorin to everywhere on foot. Even there are people that still trek on foot, and maybe they hit their legs and something happened to them. So what I intend to do in a few minutes, all right, is to take you through the strategy to adopt if you want to consider any primary market issue as we speak. So I go straight to primary market activities. Should you invest? Should you not invest? What are the critical factors to consider? Number one is take your time, check the precedents of those organizations that will be approaching you for primary market issue. What are you to check in their precedents? What industry are they operating in? What is the viability of that industry? What is the value that might be inherent in that industry? Number two, look at the products. Do you know products of that organization? How potent, how marketable, how popular? Very important. Check their management. Since they came in, how well have they been able to manage the organization? What is the profit margin? That is the relationship between turnover and profit after tax of that organization. Who are the people that constitute their board? Not that alone. In their precedents, you need to look at what their earnings performances had been. If you do not know, please ask. Until you are able to see growth consistently over a period of 5 years in some of these organizations, growth that you are sure of, please keep your money. Not that alone. How well have they been able to sustain their price? Even in this bad market, when we see declining prices of equities, how well has such equity been able to sustain a good price level? Look at the year to date. look at the quarter to date. If the price is declining, please be careful. Look at the shareholding structure. Very important. When we meet at a workshop, I will be deliberating more on this, but I'm not done yet. You go straight to look at, again, their shares in issue. Now, that will be shown on the screen in a jiffy. Shares in issue, very important. You need to know how this affects the prices of equity, the price performances of equity. When the outstanding shares of a company is very huge, the ability of that organization to give you dividend that will be commensurate with price slows down. That is the reality, and that is why you see most of our financial institutions these days have not been able to give bonus issue. Why? Because that is where you see 38 billion ordinary shares. You see 25 billion ordinary shares. Why? Outstanding number of shares have become so huge. And then what is the relationship between the existing shares of the company and the quantity of shares being issued for you to buy in their primary market activity? So you need to now add that to the existing. You will now see what the new outstanding number of shares of that organization is going to look like. Then thereafter, you have to juxtapose this with the expected earnings. Expected income, as in profit after tax. You must be able to forecast the earnings, not the earnings that the organization is forecasting in their books, but your own earnings that you should be able to forecast. There is no organization that is hitting the market with a primary market activity that is going to forecast lower than expected earnings. All of them will bring all these things together, but it becomes your responsibility to make your forecast. What you don't know, please ask the question and then be rightly guided. The stock exchange is not the one that will tell you, or the SEC, they are not the one. There are people like the Oracle. So when the Oracle is talking, please endeavor to listen. Not that alone, you will now have to relate the primary market activities, particularly the price at which it is being offered, with what obtains on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, knowing fully well that the price is not going to be placed on technical suspension. As soon as the ride is over, what do you think will happen to the price of such equity on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange? These are critical factors. Thereafter, you now come to the price proper. Very important, which is the next slide you are going to be seeing now. What do I mean by prices? Very important, you consider this. Now, prices, please, the next slide, which is prices. Now, you talk about current market price, very important. Then you look at the primary market price, very important. Look at the variance between the current market price and the primary market price. Then look at the previous price performances, and then you ask yourself, where was the price coming from? Where is the price likely to go? Then what will you be doing? Should the price come below? Listen to me, and that is what the Oracle is saying this afternoon. Any stock that you know that if the price should come down below its current price, or the price at which they are selling the primary market issue, if you are not sure you will be buying more, leave the primary market issue. Just focus your attentions on the secondary market. We have seen institutions, I think on Saturday we were talking about, if I'm not mistaken, was it Lafarge WAPCO, how much they came to the market to do primary market activity, and how much the price is currently selling on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. You will discover that it will have been better for you to have just retained the price on the floor of the stock exchange than you going to buy the primary market issue. Then let me show you this one before we round off this segment. Now, what is the purpose of the offer, which is the next slide you are going to be seeing now? What is the purpose of the primary market activity? Now, there could be different reasons. One, it could be for working capital. They intend to beef up their working capital. It could be for assets acquisition. It could be for debt refinancing and all the rest. But the one that is the best for you will be those that are actually coming to the market. The assets are there, but they want to shore up their working capital. Not that they are buying anything, but they want to ensure that there is enough funds to operate. That is how best to invest in primary market activity. If you do this, you are bound not to lose money. You are bound to make money. Now we look at earnings that have been released to the market. So far, so good. This earnings season. Earnings seasons are always the hottest period, the most active period in the market anywhere in the world. So now I will involve Haruna Kebira, who sat by my right hand side here, and has taken the time to follow what I've said. So far, so good this afternoon. Haruna, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. We have seen the results from at least 4 financial institutions. Before I left the house for the studio this afternoon, I also saw that CAP had released their result. And the result from CAP is very good. But I want us to focus our attentions on this few. Now, Haruna, UBA result was good, right? Our focus on this platform, on the pages of StocksWatch and on the radio, was 1 naira 80 kobo. The company released 1 naira 80 kobo. That is why we are the oracle. All right? And of course, they adjusted it down when they considered the controlling interest to 1 naira 72 kobo. For guarantee, our forecast was 4 naira 75 kobo. But we said they are not going to do below. They are not going to do below 4 naira 75 kobo. They brought 5 naira 3 kobo. In the case of Zenith, we said their earnings will be around 4 naira 50 kobo. They brought 4 naira 58 kobo. And then in the case of Wema, we said they should do 6 kobo. And then they did 6 kobo. Haruna, in my village, it is said that the lizard that fell from the high Iroko tree actually said to itself that it will pray itself, even if no one
will shake his head.
All right. So the oracle had really spoken well. But in your view, what will you say about all these results that we have seen so far in the market?
I think they are good, and they actually took the market by surprise, because going with what is happening in the polity, nobody believed that the performance will be as good as this.
All right. But how will you say the market really has responded? Let's take them one after the other. Of course, according to how the results were released. On this platform, we actually said that it is either that Zenith comes before guarantee or guarantee, but it will come almost immediately after. So guarantee came. As a matter of fact, in the case of Zenith, they have to bring back the date of their board meeting, and by the end of the following day, their result was released. So let's look at UBA. 1 naira 72 kobo third quarter earnings. So how will you say this, the market has taken this, and what will be your advice to investors?
The only thing that have happened to UBA is that the market not actually responded in price-wise to UBA. The result is good. If you look at the turnover, they did very well. The only thing is that between profit before tax or any per share, they just did 1%, and any per share, there was a drop by 1%. I believe that the market is still trying to relate it with, what the market does is that they have pair group. At least they'll be looking at UBA against assets, and assets have not released the result. I believe that the market is waiting for assets result to rate UBA with.
Because from what I can see here on the indicators, the result was released on 17. The following day, the price actually declined. But on Friday, UBA gained marginally 1.2%. I'm trying to see what UBA has done so far so good today. All right. But as you are seeing, based on this result, will you be advising me to still consider UBA, or you will be telling me to sell?
What I would say, the kind of result I'm saying for UBA is the one I would tell you to hold.
Right, but so far so good today. UBA is losing 1.22%. It is currently selling at 8 naira 5 kobo, which suggests that the market is still not responding to that result yet. Let's leave UBA. Let's go to Guarantee. The result of Guarantee, if I'm not mistaken, was released on 18th, and on 18th the price actually lost. 18th was Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, and the following day the price ended flat. And on the floor of the stock exchange, so far so good today. Let me see if I can get quickly what the price of Guarantee is saying. Guarantee actually did very well. They improved substantially on their earning per share. But why do you think the market is not still compensating Guarantee as yet?
If you look at Guarantee results, you discover that they drop in their turnover by 4%.
Right.
I think dropping in turnover means that you are losing your market share. That means you are not, that whatever you are doing, you are not making more money than you made before. The growth that you can see between profit before tax and earnings per share might be management of costs.
But what is more important? Is it not management of course? What if you generated all the money like we see in the oil and the manufacturing, and at the end of the day, the profit margin becomes very small?
I think this situation is the two. You get more market share and be able to manage your cost. So
but to maintain market share is always difficult. But if you can strategize and manage your cost, I think you are a good manager.
Well,
so I think.
It depends on how the market is looking at it. You know, over the weekend, a number of people have gone through this result and they have taken their...
But so far so good this morning. It's losing marginal 0.27%. It's currently selling at 36 naira 70 kobo. Let us look at Zenith. Zenith really, I know today has really gained so well. And the result was released, I think, if I'm not mistaken, on, was it Thursday or Friday? And I think it was released on Friday.
Day before,
yes,
day after.
And the price was up. So far, so good today. On the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Zenith is still looking up. You know that Zenith has always been low. It's like this price is being low. The market has not been looking its way so well. Can we now say that the market is beginning to see value in Zenith?
I think that is exactly what's happening, because the market is matching its result to the price. You discover that on Friday when it closed 22.90, but it has an earnings yield of 20%. And if not for the period that we have, any stock with any yield over 10% is a good buy. But even why it's still trading at the price at which it's trading at the thing, because of the market.
So far so good today. It is selling at 23 naira 70 kobo after it gained 3.49%. Do you think that this growth is sustainable?
It has even, I saw it at 23.80 before coming to the studio.
So maybe people are beginning to take profit again. Then we look at Wema Bank PLC. This is a financial institution that I know so well has been restructured. But since the result hit the market actually has more or less discounted it. And then even till Friday, Wema Bank lost 4.8%. But today, so far so good, it is still flat at 60 kobo. All right. Don't you think that this is just good opportunity for people making use of this good earnings to take position and hold for the medium term?
The earnings for Wema Bank is actually very fantastic. There's a growth from turnover to earnings per share. Earnings per share of 73%. But when you look at what the earnings per share vis-a-vis their price is 11.2% earnings yield. So, trading at 60 kobo. I think we would have seen a reaction in Wema Bank more if the minimum price of stock is still 50 kobo.
All right.
Or maybe because it has been lower to 20 kobo, that is why there is this skepticism about Wema Bank and the price.
Right. Aruna, before I allow you to go, generally, what's your expectation from the market this week?
Any season has more and more results are being released to the market. The market will be reacting positively to it. So I believe that the market is going to end this week on a positive note.
Last question. What is happening in Global View?
Global View, like what we say this week, are giving value-added service. We want to make it a one-stop shop for any investor.
If I bring my portfolio there, what value are you going to add to me?
Definitely, your portfolio will not remain constant. There must be a growth, but we cannot give you guaranteed growth.
All right, thank you so much, Haruna, for coming. Your number for those who might be interested.
My number is 0802-300-9379, 0802-300-9379.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for
having me.
having
me. Again. So I've been speaking with Haruna Kibira, the guy from Global View Capital Limited. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about you and your health, because health indeed is wealth. Don't change this television channel.